Hola! It's the AEW Revolution recap episode of the Awesome Pod. I'm your favorite retired luchador and mine, Gringo Fantastico. Joining me tonight is my lovely Fantastico host, Diana Prince. How are you doing tonight, Diana?
I'm super lovely.
Very nice to hear. Very nice to hear. So it's later than usual tonight, Diana. It's about 10 p.m. on the West Coast. For me, it's 1 a.m. I've injected my veins with a Red Bull IV, and I'm ready to go. So
1
Johnny,
a.m. That's
yeah.
like nothing. Where are you?
Well, you know. So, so I'm going to be a little giggly tonight. Sorry. So Johnny's MIA tonight. He's dropping some wisdom speaking at an event. Very happy for him. He'll be back next time. But ladies and gentlemen, we haven't left you empty-handed. We have a special guest tonight. Diana, would you like to introduce your pal?
No, he's supposed to introduce himself.
Well, then introduce yourself.
Well, then I'll introduce myself.
Yay!
All right, good evening, everyone. And I do not need any Red Bull because I am on cloud 9 from Revolution last night. I am Bobbilu. I am the final gentleman of professional wrestling, Pound Town Wrestling's backstage correspondent out of the Los Angeles area, mostly out of Hart WeHo in West Hollywood. Longtime listener, first-time caller.
Yay, welcome. And that is why you had to introduce yourself, because how could I top that shit? Come on.
And a decade-long friend of Miss Diana Prince.
Aww.
At least a decade, right?
Dude, I had no idea until this weekend. Like, that's crazy to me.
We've known each other since teenagers, and that's what I'm going to go with.
I mean, I feel like we were like 2, really.
Well, not 2. We have to at least 8 for legal purposes.
I'm fine with being 12. I can make more money. No, wait. I probably shouldn't say that. Never mind. Move on.
Oh boy. All right, guys. So you were both at the live event. It was basically in your backyard at the crypto.com arena in LA.
Okay, let me start by saying that sounds like convenient, but it's so not. Like, the LA ones are like the hardest ones for me to get to for whatever reason, because they're so early and traffic is so bad. No matter what time I leave, I'm always fucking late. And I tried so hard to get there for 0 hour, and I didn't.
Oh man.
I got there for the boom part of 0 hour.
Gotcha.
Hooray.
I gotcha. That's funny. But yeah, like, so this crypto.com arena was this always the crypto.com arena? Because I'm not familiar with it.
It was Staples Centers prior to that.
Okay, now I know exactly what you're talking about, because when they called it that, I was like, what the hell is the crypto.com arena?
And before they used to come to like the bigger, like the stadiums and stuff, but I like the smaller venue much more. I just feel like smaller is the way for them to go. It's so much better.
And it was packed. It was a legitimate packed house.
Yes.
Yeah, it looked like it was sold out from just watching it on pay-per-view.
That's what
Let's say it was. Yay.
Yeah, that's great. That's really great for AEW. I'm very happy for him there. So guys, I know how it came across on TV. How did the crowd come across at this event? Because they seem to be rabid.
The crowd was fucking bonkers.
That's what it sounded like.
Next to Leslie Jones, right? Is her name?
Leslie.
Oh, yeah.
She was fucking crazy. Like, she took over the night. Like, I'm not gonna say it's more fun watching her, but she added to everything.
Yeah, she was just like all over the place, especially during Swerve's match. They kept cutting to her.
She was patting herself with the towel. She was very fun.
And I will say this, it's typical for an LA venue to have celebrities kind of go in and out of certain areas. They're there for one match or a segment. They're usually pretty mellow on their phone. Not Miss Leslie. Miss Leslie was there most of the show, completely engaged. At one point, the staff had to bring her a towel so she could pat herself down.
Yes, I love that. That is an excellent point, because a lot of times I'm like, oh, here's Vince Vaughn for 5 seconds just so they can show that he's there, and then most of the time he's hanging out eating catering or something. But like, she was so fucking into it, and so was like Brad Williams, and like, I feel like most of the quote unquote celebrities that were there, I just don't like that word, were mostly there because they are really into it.
Yeah, like they were showing, because I think it was Ken Jeong. Was that who it was?
He is always there, and he is always super into it.
Yeah, he was just anytime like a big move would happen in front of him, man, he would just cringe away, like, oh my god.
He's so good.
I was
He's
like,
been
that's
at
so cool.
every LA event I've been to.
Oh, that's fantastic. I like him more now. I like him even more than I did. That's cool. So we have a bit to cover. We're gonna get into 0 Hour, and we're gonna try to go through it pretty quick. Because this was
rub salt in the wound, motherfucker.
Yeah, well, it was like a crazy, like, I mean, it was more like 0.5 hour. Like it was, or 0 hour and a half, because it was like freaking forever. I turned on the timer and it was like, oh, an hour and 30 minutes. I'm like, wait a second, it's supposed to be 0 hour. What the hell?
You're getting extra wrestling and you're complaining?
No, I'm not. Well, there wasn't a lot of extra wrestling. There was some weirdness too. But anyway, we'll get through this real quick. We started off with with Blake Christian and Lee Johnson taking on freaking Hologram and the more tolerable Commander. It was what you'd expect, back and forth, high spots from both the luchadors. Hologram ends up getting the win after a 450 splash. And he's still undefeated, which is a bunch of BS, but whatever.
Holy fuck, he's undefeated? That's crazy.
He's still undefeated. He's like he's getting into Goldberg territory at this point. He's like 733-0 or some bullshit.
That's fucking stupid.
It really is. But anyway, I don't know why this match wasn't Hologram and Commander versus Dralistico and Mordos. That seemed to be what the storyline was going, but hey, whatever. We got it. After that, we got a lot of Queen of the Ring promotion. Part of the cast and the director was there. Renee was talking to the director on stage. He hyped Mildred Burke and women's wrestling. After that, we had an 8-man tag match with the Undisputed Kingdom's Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roddy Strong, with the TNT champion Daniel Garcia taking on Shane Taylor Promotions, consisting of Lee Moriarty, Shane Taylor, and the Infantry. That was a really fun match as well. It's exactly what I expected it to be. A lot of stiff shots from the Undisputed Kingdom. They're freaking awesome. Roddy Strong is I just love watching that guy. And I like Kyle O'Reilly even more than Roddy, but I really enjoy watching Roddy.
Roddy.
This match seemed to be like a stepping stone to get Adam Cole and Garcia into another match for the TNT title.
Agreed. Tease tension throughout the match.
Yeah,
it was just there.
Exactly. And he just hit, and at the end of it, Daniel Garcia tagged in very heel fashion, tagged himself in. Yeah, it was crazy. And then and Adam Cole looked super pissed, but they all celebrated. No one got crappy with each other towards the end. Garcia put on the Dragon Tamer and got Lee Moriarty to tap out. So there you go. There's that. I'm going through these as quick as I can. So next we had a weird package for some dude, CT Fletcher, cursing like a sailor and hyping the Hurt Syndicate training in a gym. Not sure why we needed to see this.
He was sitting in front of us. I think they're going to be doing something with him. They had him like leave back and forth to go do promos. Right? That's who you're talking about, right?
Yeah. That guy.
Bobbilu. That's the same dude, right?
Yeah, same dude.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So there's something a brew in there.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, the guy seems like he's very imposing.
He was very nice.
Well, that's good too. Next up, we get so here's the kicker. We get Gravity, Bandito's little lucha brother, going one-on-one with the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho.
Oh my god. Okay, this is what I was trying to get there for. Fuck. Traffic.
Okay.
And also me taking so long to get ready. If we're being fair.
Sounds like it was almost a Darcy problem. Not a traffic problem.
It was both. I planned for no traffic, and then there was traffic. Shock, LA.
Oh, okay.
I planned it perfect for no traffic.
Fair.
But also my Uber driver dropped me off like 3 blocks away, and I had to walk in heels. It was not
oh my God.
cute. Exactly. And I still got there just after this.
I guess
which is close.
It sounds like he's a candidate for Dick of the Week.
You know what? Note made. Continue your recap.
All right. So this match was a ruse. Jericho runs in with a baseball bat, beats the holy hell out of Gravity, while Gravity's mother and sister are just sitting there watching their poor little boy get the crap kicked out of him. Bandito comes out to try to save his brother, but that shit wasn't happening. He gets decimated as well. Jericho, oh my God, he commits the ultimate sin. Okay, in my eyes, he unmasks Gravity. All right,
Ooh,
Yeah,
so evil. Literally, okay, fucking hell. Literally, while I was in line to get in, I was getting so many texts and like messages like, I can't believe Jericho did that and shit. I was like, I knew I missed it. I was like, fuck you all for rubbing it in. I hate you all.
Well, Chris
I'm
Jericho.
so close.
Chris Jericho has this ability to evoke emotion from an audience that I would say is unparalleled with entertainers in general, let alone wrestlers. Because I have no idea who Gravity is. Bandito, I'm familiar with, but I was in tears throughout the entire segment. Like, no, Chris, don't, please don't.
Aw, I know. He's so good. I'm so sad I missed it.
He's
And
so
the
horrible.
family's reaction was like so good. Like I felt their pain.
dude.
As someone who watched it live, I have to ask how it
Shut
came
up.
across. Oh, apologies. As someone who allegedly watched it live as you were stuck in traffic, it came across so awkward, though, in the arena, because at some point, his mother, who I was just watching going like, wow, mom can really work, because I was believing everything mom was conveying and expressing, and the sister. But then Aubrey Edwards let them go into the ring. She even opened the ring for them as a crazed man with a baseball bat is threatening her son. I'm just like, that's not a good idea. Who would do that? If anything made more sense, you would be holding back mom and sister so they don't get hit by a baseball bat. And what does Chris Jericho try to do? Hit mom with a baseball bat, or at least make the motion. It was still so good. But it was like, what's going on here? Like, do they have really good liability insurance here in AEW? What?
They must.
I mean, Tony Khan has money. They're fine.
Yeah.
And after some of the matches tonight, I sure hope they have insurance. So, like, okay, so I'm sitting on my couch and I'm watching Jericho do this, and oh my God, the response he elicited from me. I'm a luchador, dude. You do not unmask luchadors, dude. That's not cool. That's like serious super dick move.
Well,
you know?
hello. He's a fucking heel.
I know. I'm gonna, I was so angry. I was just like, oh, I'm coming out of retirement. You don't take
I mean, he also tried to bash in the mom. I feel like that's equally as bad.
It is bad, but it wasn't my mom, so
it was someone's mom, and that mom can work.
Yes. Yeah, she was very believable, and the sister was too. Not as much as the mom, but the sister was too. Oh man, so I reply. So Jericho goes and he gloats on Instagram about this, and he's like, "Ha, look at what I did, haha." So I responded. I got like a lot of people liking my response to him because I basically told him, I was like, "Dude, you can't be doing that. You can't be doing that shit. Don't mess with my lucha brethren." People were like, "Yeah," like, and they just, yeah, it was pretty funny. It was
okay, I get it.
reply.
It was the greatest segment that ever segmented. Fuck off. What's next?
Greatest non-wrestling segment of the night.
Fuck off. I'm so you just don't even know. I'm so sad. My heart was breaking as I was in line, knowing it's happening right now, and I can't see it. I was so sad.
Look at the bright side, though. You'll be able
There's
to.
no bright side.
You can
Life
watch it
means
when
nothing anymore.
When they put it up on Max or whatever later, you'll be able to revisit it or visit it for the first time.
Is it not up yet? It's
probably up. I don't know.
I already saw it. Please, I saw that shit right away. But it's not the same as being there live and like supporting it, you know?
And consoling me as I'm crying.
That's true. I know. I walked in. I had tears streaming. I'm like, fuck.
It's so funny. Oh boy. Okay.
But
so
hey, you know what's next? Fucking Boom.
Yeah, we get Boom. But first we had this weird thing, and I want to bring this up because I don't know who the fuck this guy is. Renee and RJ are in the back talking with this guy named Young Gravy. Okay.
He's a rapper.
I don't know whoever in the Sam hell it is. Like I've never even heard of it.
Well, you're old. You're not supposed to. It's fine.
I know. I hate everything but Matlock.
I mean, Matlock is great. Although, have you seen the new Matlock? It's so weird.
Yeah, I tried to watch it. That was not happening. I was
it's
like,
just why even call that Matlock? Anyway.
I know you should have called it Kathy Bates Lock.
She's not even. Okay, we're not. Okay, this is not a Matlock podcast. Continue.
We need to do a Matlock podcast.
I would be so in. Matlock is an underrated show for any age.
This is weird. All right.
Welcome to the Awesome Pod.
So, but Young Gravy, he doesn't spell it right. It's young without an
Oh my
O.
God, could you be older? Yes, he spells it the correct way for being cool.
Okay, if that's what
Do you want him
cool
to
is.
spell it properly? How lame.
Okay, then.
O's are
Enough
for
of that.
losers.
Oh boy. All right, so now we're gonna get. We got another match too. We've got this, and I'm gonna go through it real quick. We have a trios match with the for the TikTok kids. I guess we can talk a little bit more about it. We've got MXM and Johnny TV with Taya Valkyrie taking on the conglomerations Orange Cassidy and Mark Briscoe with the Big Boom and Little Boom or whatever his name is. But the Rizzler was there too, and I think the Rizzler's hilarious. I love that little kid. He's funny because Riz means like it's a Gen Z term for like.
Dear Lord, stop being 100.
Dude,
We know what it means.
It's just short for charisma,
sure.
isn't it?
I think it's like love. Like it's like you're like a guy that can get the chicks. I don't know. My kids tell me this stuff. I'm like, whatever.
Love? Oh Lord, we're moving on.
Yeah. Anyway, the Rizzler's funny.
I'm gonna start a pod to teach you like slang and pop culture and shit.
I need it because I don't know what things mean half the time. I think it's because where I live, we don't talk like that here. All right. So, what are you guys? Before I break this down, are you guys feeling this Costco boom guys thing still or at all?
Well, we're also not 11-year-olds on TikTok, so I'm familiar with who he is and who they are. And anyone who wants to fulfill their dream and has an opportunity to do it, I'm all for it. But for me, it's gone on one segment too many.
The first segment was one segment too many for me.
Okay, so I will say I formerly had that opinion. I was over it. But they were so enthusiastic and just having so much fun that in person, it did. I'm not going to say won me over because I'm kind of tired of this non-storyline.
Yeah.
But I can see their appeal. They're just super fun and super happy. So I did not hate it as much as I expected to.
Fair.
I didn't hate it at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't either. You know what? I'll even say I liked it.
I'm switching. I like it. They can come back as long as they're not on the main show.
Yeah.
There you go. That is
fair.
very fair. But Orange Cassidy should. So I didn't love that he was part of this.
Yeah, that was the weird part. Like, so, and I kind of thought the same thing too. Like when it started, I wasn't into it. But Big Boom AJ, he can work a little bit. But I don't know. It seems like everyone else kind of has to carry him through because he's not quite there with everybody else on the same level, which is fine. The match itself was fine. And like you said, Diana, I thought it was kind of lame that Orange and Briscoe are being booked in pre-match purgatory. That was a little weird because like Orange was in the main event like a week ago.
Well, the way I'm looking at it is the main show was so fucking stacked that like this added just some, not just this, like this Jericho hologram, like it added more and made 0 Hour seem more important than it normally does. So
Yeah.
I mean that's a good way to look at it because literally usually 0 Hour something I don't even think about. Like I get there at the time the main event starts, But
Fair.
this time I was like, I gotta try to get there for 0 Hour and fail.
No, you know what? It was pretty good though. And I also think go ahead, Bobbilu. What's up?
I have no idea. I lost my train of thought. Oh, MXM collection.
Yes.
Because I'm a mark, they were doing an appearance. A bunch of AEW people were doing appearances and signings throughout LA. I went to a couple. I went to MXM Collective. What are they called? The collection? MXM.
Yeah, that's why I was calling MXM because I can't remember either.
Collection or collective, yeah. They had an appearance at the Wrestling Guy store in Southgate, and they spent the entire appearance in character. At one point, Mansoor was signing an autograph for me, and he's just like, well, how do you hold this? I'm like, how do you hold what? He was talking about the marker. He was struggling to hold the marker. And I'm like looking around, like, because I'm friends with the owner of the store. I'm like, is this guy for real? And he kind of gave me, the Iggy and let me know. No, he's in character. I'm like, I would hope so.
They are so good. Like they are like that.
They did not stop it.
Yes. I love them. Honestly.
It's impressive.
Okay, so with this segment too, leading into that. I think this was also just a way for them to get everybody that people wanted to see on the show.
Yeah,
Because
and they have the 0 hour like free to watch on like social and YouTube and stuff. So it's to get people excited and like buy into the pay-per-view. So like if you're gonna have like a lame show, that's not really gonna work. So to have like a really fun opening thing and you're like, you know what? I want more. That makes a lot of sense.
And turn a casual fan into a hardcore fan, and it also got the cheap pops or the the fan enthusiastic. It's a cheap pop. Let's just go with that.
Yeah, it's a cheap pop.
No,
Yeah,
perfect way to put it.
Got slammed by a minor, by Big Justice. That was at the end of the match. Followed by Mason trying to strike, again, an underage individual on national television.
I love it, man.
The whole, okay, so my two favorite parts of this, I thought it was funny with the cookie and Orange Cassidy goes out and he takes a bite out of the cookie, and then Mansoor flies, runs out there and he knocks the cookie out of their hand on the floor. Then Orange dives on him and then makes him eat the cookie. I thought that was really, really funny. And then when the MXM was posing and Cassidy kind of walks in between them and like there's a thumbs up, dude, that I laughed my ass off. That was funny. That was good shit.
Cassidy is always the best. It doesn't matter like who he is partnered with or whatever. He just makes the most of every fucking thing.
Dude, he's entertaining as
hell,
man.
But also so fucking athletic and talented, as we always say. I just can never say enough good about him. He is so, no matter how much love he gets, he's going to be underrated because he's just so good.
I want to meet him sometime. If he's ever at a con or something, I want to meet him because I would love to chat with him. He seems like he's a cool guy. He is the Last
Dragon fan. He watches the show. Oh my God.
That's awesome.
I know.
Oh boy. Okay, so anyway, this match ends with the triple power boom is what I call it, because I thought it was clever, whether or not it was. So because Orange Boom guy and Briscoe, they just nail him with that. So then because of Collision, Archer and Cage come down at the end of the match for some reason, but then Hobbs comes out and like basically scares them off and then takes out Mason Madden with a nasty spine buster for reasons. And then also for reasons, Adam Devine and some other dude that I don't know come out to the ring and beat up a wrestler. I'm not a fan of that. And Taz, you guys didn't hear this, but Taz had a comment that I completely agree with. He goes, "Looks like everyone's a wrestler now. Does anyone pay dues anymore?" I'm like,
I do like that.
Yeah, I'm like, couldn't have said it better myself there, Taz.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Never mind.
What the hell?
No, say it.
You know how podcasts work? You just talk.
Yeah, say it. Okay.
All right, moving on.
All right, so that was 0 hour and a half. It's time to dive into AEW Revolution itself. We start off with a package about the match most people wanted to see the most, in my opinion, MJF versus Hangman Adam Page.
Wasn't that great?
Do what now?
The entrance of MJF, where it was the fake out. It was the old school Hangman video.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the announcers were even buying into it. They were like,
really?
Yeah, they were like, "Oh wow, this means business. He's going back to his old songs means business." And all of a sudden, the flannel comes down over the screen, and I'm like, I got y'all."
That was good.
Pretty funny.
Very MJF.
Oh yeah. But yeah, that was a ruse played by good old Max. Page comes out to his current theme, which I personally prefer. Page has his old Ring of Honor haircut now as well. Did you guys notice that? He had a haircut.
No idea.
Yeah, it was weird. I think Johnny, when he said the other day, I think he's dead on about a ginormous face turn from Hangman Adam Page, which I'm not 100% okay with. I kind of want him to be the anti-hero in the middle, but that's just my opinion.
I feel like some people can be a face to the crowd while still being an anti-hero, and I feel like he can. So he might not do full face, you know.
I hope, and I hope you're right. I hope he doesn't.
I mean, he already is kind of a face to us.
Maybe he was just a face because MJF's such a dick.
Right, which is, kind of anti-hero-ish.
We'll wait till he gets a little crazy about that AEW heavyweight title again. So we'll see. But yeah, this match was really good. It was spectacular. It had the story behind it along with the build. there were a lot of crazy ass spots in this, man. That tombstone pile driver onto the chair.
And the chair did not give.
No, I was like, oh my God, dude.
So Diana actually ran to the barricade to see what was going on as I was like peeking over because it looked. Diana, what did it look like in person over the barricade? Because
Well, go to my Instagram stories and you can see firsthand footage. Like, I was worried about him. I've seen him get hurt in person a lot. I was like, not again. So yeah, literally, you can see it. Like, he's writhing on the floor. It looks scary.
Yeah, you're just like, is he okay? Did something happen that was not supposed to happen? Because that sequence was cool. It was a moonsault off the barricade, reversed into a tombstone, onto a chair, and the chair did not break.
Yeah.
And was it supposed to break, or was it supposed to look that devastating where you're just like, is this supposed to happen? Are they going to check on him? Is everything okay? Because when the count happened, it was right up until like 9.75.
Yeah.
So he got back into the ring.
Well,
we're all gasping, tears.
So many tears in this.
I cried a lot at wrestling. It happens.
Apparently,
hey, it's okay. It's okay, man. You let those tears fly. It just means that it's doing its job. But I think that he was pretty well protected. And a lot of the time with chairs, I've landed on lots of chairs. They don't give real easily unless you have like a cheap ass chair. I mean, like you go to the Dollar General and buy one for like $2. That chair will break. But like most chairs, it takes a significant amount of weight to go on them. And I think he was pretty well protected. I mean, you almost have to always be protected with a tombstone pile driver. That's why they used to not use those very often because they're kind of dangerous. They only let certain people use them, mostly taller wrestlers and stuff that could have the length in their body to drop them without, you know what I mean? So
which is MJF though.
Yeah, it's MJF. I don't think he cares as much, but I mean it's Max. But anyway, yeah, so this match, there was all kinds of false finishes. It ends
false
with
buckshots.
Oh yeah, all over the place. Yeah, all over the place. Paige nails Max with the dead eye after countering the heat seeker. Then he nails him with the angel's wings, following up with a buckshot lariat.
The third one he connected of the night, right?
Yes. Well, I don't know if did he connect with 3? I don't
know. He connected with a couple after the teases. It's just like, wow, this is such a good match.
Yeah, I know he attempted a bunch of buckshot lariats, but yeah, that last one did the trick. He got the win. What
the dead eye into the angel wings and into the buckshot? If he didn't win after that,
yeah,
I know, right?
My sense of reality is just blown.
So Paige gets the win here, guys. What did you think about this match? I know we talked about it a little bit. Did it live up to your hype? Is kind of what I want to know, because it was pretty well hyped up on TV leading into this match.
Bobbilu, you go first.
Okay, so I'm always hyped to see MJF because I love him as a heel. My problem is that everyone out of character has mentioned his heelish behavior outside of the show. So I don't know if I'm actually disliking MJF or I'm disliking secondhand information, which is never reliable. Because people say all sorts of stuff about me. Well, there we go.
Can't verify.
It totally lived up to the hype, in my opinion.
Okay, cool. Diana, what did you think?
So I would say I wasn't disappointed necessarily. Did it fully live up to the hype? Maybe not, because I was talking to somebody about this. Like, when it was just that match, I was like, wow, what an amazing match. But as we went through the pay-per-view, and some of these matches are just fucking amazing, then it seemed a little less spectacular in comparison. So, like, a way we describe it is picture like an early kill. Let's say Terrifier. An early kill in Terrifier where, like, Jericho gets his jaw ripped off. We're like, that's amazing. But then later, there's a chick getting fucked by a chainsaw, and we're like, well, that's even more amazing. So this is the jaw ripping off era of this pay-per-view.
Okay.
I can totally agree with that. It's a good opener, though, because I will say this was the best, in my opinion, traditional wrestling match of the night.
That is fair. That is very fair.
Didn't involve a cage or false count anywhere but
that's why it's a slight disappointment to me, because I feel like these two guys deserve something that's just like crazy over the top. They deserve the chainsaw fucking, you know?
But they didn't need it. In the end,
That's fair too. It's just like that's personally what I want to see. Like when Hangman's spitting blood and shit, I love that shit. Can he wrestle normal fine? Yes, great. But give me the fucking chainsaw.
Yeah.
Just me, just my opinion.
You know, I agree with you. I thought the match was a great match. I was expecting a little more violence, just based on
Exactly.
the story
More
leading
chainsaw
in.
fucking needed.
Yeah, or maybe just the tip. You know. But yeah, the crowd seemed to love it. Man, the crowd loved this match. They were going insane. At least that's how it looked on TV.
I feel like the crowd loved everything until the end, apparently.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll get into
We'll
that.
get there.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Jesus.
But everything else, I feel like they were really on board with.
Yeah. All right. So now it's time for another Mercedes is obviously going to win matches against Momo Watanabe. This match, in my opinion, it wasn't very good.
This was the down point for me.
Yeah, it was. I don't think it was necessarily anyone's fault. I just think that these two just can't work together. I just don't think it works, at least not in this country. In Japan, styles are a little bit different, and I'm sure their matches, you know, over in Stardom or wherever they were wrestling was fine. But, you know, I was texting Johnny too. I'm like, oh man, this match is just garbage. And it was really slow. But I will say this, by the time the match got towards the end, I was a little more into it. I wasn't like fully invested, but I was just like, okay, this didn't turn out as bad as I thought. But was this just my imagination, or did people use this match as a bathroom break?
I don't think so, just because it's so early.
Yeah, I didn't. I will say, for me, the match was fine. It was too long for me. I felt like it needs to get across the point that Mercedes Moné can work different styles. She can work the Japanese style, and Momo can show her personality by reversing the Three Amigos into her own Three Amigos, which I don't know how it came across on TV, but live, that was the only pop Momo got other than her entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it was just, I don't know. It was really hard to pay attention to the match.
Well,
you know.
And Mercedes Moné is in a storyline, I believe, with Billy Starks, which is more interesting. So I don't like it when the storyline on TV doesn't lead to a match. And me personally, has Mercedes Moné ever wrestled Athena? Because they're doing a rehash of Athena storyline with Billy Starks from ROH. But I want to see Mercedes and Athena. I'm sure the Japanese lady wrestlers are fantastic, but I don't have an emotional investment with any of them as much as they try with the video packages to build up that this is a competitor. Mercedes Moné has the 4 belts with the 3 titles, which I don't like, because the Queen of Southside title, which looks like a toy to me. It looks like a toy, but that's actually combined with the Rev Pro women's title. So she needs to have the 3 belts and get rid of the styrofoam 1980s replica belt.
It looks like a NWO spray painted title I bought at Target when I was 15.
Agreed.
You know, it's just, you know, if you have a legit match with Athena and Mercedes, Athena's going to kick her ass, because Athena's fucking spectacular. And I know that I know Mercedes will still go over, and that's why I don't want to see it, because she might as well have a bandana and a freaking blonde mustache saying that don't work for me, brother, because that's what it comes across. So yeah, moving past this match, because yeah, and Diane, I'm with you. This was kind of just one of the low points of the show for me. And I think that they could have put this match
0 hour.
Maybe 0 hour, but I'll talk a little bit about it later, because there's some matches where it's like towards the end where I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted.
And you wouldn't have had that if they just condensed this match a little bit. There was just a lot going on that did not need to be there.
Yeah, this match seemed like it went like 20 minutes or something. It was really long.
Watch the official numbers, like 7 minutes.
Yeah, it felt like freaking 3 hours. All right, so next up we have a match that I really liked: Swerve Strickland versus Ricochet for the #1 contender spot for the AEW
Oh Lord,
World
this is good.
Heavyweight Championship. Yes, and apparently it was for Nana's robe too.
The rope's so important.
It's
Apparently.
a nice. It was a nice.
I love heel Ricochet.
Yeah.
And Justin Roberts announcing, show some love for Ricochet. It's so good. It reminds me of like this obnoxious influencer, even though that's not his deal. I love it. It just gave him so much more personality and charisma that, truthfully, I wasn't aware that was there. I've always been a huge Ricochet fan once the bell started. Everything outside of the bell was just like, all right, just do your stuff in the ring. But he is so much more well-rounded since going over to AEW that I am just thrilled that we're getting this. Because I don't know if he would have this opportunity at the other place.
No, and I think a lot of people don't get the opportunities they deserve at the other place, to be fair. But Ricochet has finally found his voice. He's finally found himself. And I'm kind of with you too, whereas like he was just very vanilla outside of the ring. And he comes across as, to me, and it's really interesting that you said that he comes across as like an influencer, because I have in my notes here that he reminds me of Logan Paul.
I was thinking the same thing. I just want to invoke his name because I don't like him.
Yeah, I don't either.
But
Oh, you're putting him down. Well, no, you're not actually. Never mind.
We're putting him over because Ricochet does it better.
Right, exactly.
And Ricochet has
better
aura.
Logan Paul.
Yes. Yeah, Ricochet is a better version of Logan Paul, because Logan Paul, anytime that guy is near me, or near TV even, I just cringe at him because I don't like him either.
Well,
back to the actual match.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
The crowd was like fucking insane for this.
Yeah, it came across that way on TV. It came across here in my office too while I was watching it. Like I was just like, yeah, this is gonna be fucking cool. These two took one another to the limit, man. The crowd, like you said, they were going ape shit. But these guys told a story that put everyone on the edge of their seats. And I didn't really know what was going to happen. And especially when Nana took that big bump and he left, and then he gives Swerve the finger on the way out.
Yes, we were all like, oh no, he really is turning on him. We're all heartbroken.
I wasn't heartbroken. I want the... Okay, how many...
You're heartbroken over everything else and not that?
I don't like face managers. I was trying to think of face managers that have worked. We've got Paul Ellering with the Road Warriors. We've got Miss Elizabeth with Macho Man, but that didn't start off that way. I could not come up with a long-term face manager relationship with a face wrestler. So I just want him to...
Can't they break the mold and be the first one?
We don't have a choice because they are breaking the mold and it's happening and it's glorious. But I don't know, maybe it's diverting my expectations a little bit too much.
I was going to say Captain Lou Albano, but
oh yeah, and the Islanders. There we go. Okay, it works. All right, there's precedent spread.
Now you love it, and you were heartbroken after all.
Yeah, Captain.
As it turns out.
So okay, go ahead. I have more to say, but you say it first, because that way I make sure that I don't say something again.
Who are you talking to?
Oh, I was talking about Bobbilu.
Oh, I stopped talking.
Oh, I thought you said something.
I
thought you said something else that came through. Never mind. I don't know. It's the Red Bull talking.
Drink some more Red Bull. Move on.
I know.
Tell us what happened.
So I thought when he left and he gave him the finger, like you said, he was going to turn on Swerve, like I'd been predicting for a while, but that's not what happened. I think it was like a ruse. He came back out and he grabbed his robe. There was just a lot that happened in this match, and I don't feel like I can do it justice because there was just so much for me to, try to talk about. I don't think I can talk about anything, but Nana tugs at the robe while Ricochet is wearing it. It distracts him. Swerve hits 2 house calls, but Ricochet kicks out of 2 house calls, which, holy shit. Swerve nails him with big pressure, gets the W. This was not at all what I was expecting, but I'm cool with it. Swerve being back in the world title picture is perfect. But where does Ricochet go from here?
Anywhere he wants. Anywhere he wants, because the way he was bumping in that match, it reminded me of like an updated version of Shawn Michaels, Kurt Hennig, where it's almost comical.
Okay.
Where you're just like, it's over the top. I forgot what it was. There was some bump where he took like something simple, but instead of just taking it, he hit the mat and then jumped back up and flipped. And it's just like, oh wow, that's one way to take whatever it was. And it's just a way to play off with, how spectacular he is in the ring, because it's really hard to boo a guy that talented. But when he makes it silly, it's almost like we're like, hey, you got really hurt there. And it's just great. And Ricochet, I feel he needs maybe the TBS title, maybe go in with Daniel Garcia. I don't know what's next, but anywhere he wants. He needs to be on TV more often. We need more personality, more segments. I was bummed that apparently they're checking for toilet paper on the way in.
I know. Let us fucking throw toilet paper.
I could see why they would, though, because you could sneak something into a roll of toilet paper, but I thought that was part of, I don't know, that they were giving out toilet paper. I didn't realize people did that on their own. I didn't realize people do stuff like that.
Well, don't squeeze the Charmin, I guess. But yeah, so
what's next?
Yeah, let's talk. Okay, so the one thing at the end of this that I thought was weird was like we didn't really see the scissors take place in this match that much, did we?
I mean, they did it in the signing, so I think that took care of our scissoring needs.
Okay, fair. All right. So now it's time for the Continental Championship match between Kazuchika Okada and Brody King. I always feel like I'm going to mispronounce Kazuchika Okada, but this match was one of the most predictable matches of the night, but not for the lack of being entertaining. So it was a physical match. Brody's nailing Okada with those ham hock chops that was just leaving welts all over him. It was a ton of back and forth. Okada nails Brody with the Rainmaker clothesline, and it's over. Okada retains. How did the crowd feel with this one?
Well, Brody's from the 818, so he was immediately over with the Los Angeles crowd. So I don't know.
Big time. People chanting 818.
Yeah, I noticed that. And the announcers.
And y'all could hear it. That's awesome.
Yeah, the announcers were also like commenting on it too.
I had no idea until they started chanting. I was like, oh, okay. You respect. You're a Valley boy.
Well, he had a good offense, though, because at one point he reversed the Rainmaker into the Death Valley Driver into a cannonball run. Like that's cool. Like he didn't look like it was predictable, but I felt like Brody still came across looking really strong. But I also knew Okada wasn't going to lose.
I honestly didn't know that. I thought they might really give it to Brody
in LA for the hometown pop.
I mean, sure,
why not?
I didn't know that at the time, but like I thought maybe they were just trying to build him up. Okada's had it for a long fucking time.
Oh God, yeah, like what, 2 years or something like that?
Like it's no shame if he loses it. You know what I mean? Like he's still gonna look good. So I think maybe it's time.
This title actually has a reason why it exists. It comes from a tournament that's defended every year, and the winner of the tournament faces the current champion. A lot of AEW's non-world champions, I don't know why that championship exists other than to put a belt on someone.
Yes, so there's a lot of unnecessary belts.
Well, they couldn't have the Intercontinental Championship, so they had the International and the Continental. They just split that belt into two so they could have something similar.
Because it's like the countries, the belt of the countries, the international, the countries share this belt, whereas the continents share the other belt. So land masses, he represents land masses like North and South America.
Should be the geographical championship.
There we go. Because I try to rank them. Because in my head, the other company has the U.S. title on the main show, but they have the North American championship on the developmental show. I always feel like that should be switched because one represents a country, the other one represents a continent. And continents are greater than countries.
Yes.
Well, it's probably like an American pride kind of thing.
Who knows? Who knows? I don't know, man. Like, it seemed like the crowd by the end of this, they were starting to get some fatigue. Were people starting to, just because of just how crazy this event's been, were people just starting to kind of come down a little bit from their high at this match?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think? Okay, that's cool. I couldn't tell the reaction because sometimes it felt like they were a lot quiet. I know they were really quiet during the Mercedes match.
Well, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Well, also both this match and the Mercedes match came after really intense matches. So it's audience needed that breathing room. It wasn't as if the audience wasn't being receptive. It's just, all right, I need to breathe and process because I just saw an amazing match between MJF and Hangman, and now I just need to relax. And now
Swerve.
And Swerve,
Yeah.
we got to process Swerve and Ricochet, and that match was intense for the crowd. The crowd was not sitting, where we were at least, on the floor.
No one was. Like, fucking, I feel like Leslie Jones was about to die. She was so going crazy.
I know, dude. Like, they just kept showing her, and she's like screaming. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, why is Leslie Jones losing her shit on TV? Like,
Big Swerve fan, apparently.
I guess. Holy shit.
But good for her, though, because she's not doing that weird
Yeah.
LA thing where you're too good to be into where you were invited as a guest, but you're not acting as if you're enjoying yourself,
My
which
God,
I
yes,
cannot stand.
No, I love that so much because that has been my complaint about LA shows is that a lot of people show up, take selfies, leave. They don't care. They're too cool to be there. It's like, oh, like, who are we seeing? Who else is here? Like, a place to be seen. This did not have that vibe at all.
No, Leslie Jones was there for the show. So was Dr. Ken. And I appreciate, like, so many LA events, like you said, it's about a photo op. You're not really into the product. You're there to promote whatever you're doing through osmosis of social media, just being there. And most of those people may have been comped. I have no idea. But
I'm going to wager they were.
Enjoy yourself then, like Leslie Jones.
Yes.
I'll be like Leslie Jones.
Yeah. Oh, man. So, okay. So, and I was thinking earlier, like, I was going to lead to this too. It's like, I think the Mercedes match, and we'll talk about the why in a minute, but that Mercedes match should have went in between Omega and Ospreay's matches because I was exhausted.
That would have brought down everything so much, like too much.
Okay. I mean, maybe, I don't know. There was something that needed to be in between those matches. All right, so next up we had the AEW World Tag Team Championship. The Hurt Syndicate takes on the underdog challengers, the Outrunners. This match surprised the hell out of me. The Hurt Syndicate seemed surprised as well during the match. The Outrunners held their own in it. I'm surprised they managed to manhandle. Do you guys think that too? Like, they just manhandled Bobby Lashley a little bit, and I did not expect that to happen. Bobby was kind of getting tossed out of the ring a bunch, and it took MVP to give Shelton and Lashley a pep talk outside the ring, basically telling them that they were being made out to be fools by the Outrunners, who they clearly felt were a joke getting into this match. And then it sparked like ultra aggression. Shelton comes in like a fury of 1,000 suns. Eventually, Turbo and Truth get the double bicep elbow on Shelton. They kind of need to for the crowd pop, but it didn't matter. Lashley choke slammed Truth and spears him. He spears Turbo. Shelton gets the win. Were you guys as surprised as I was about how much offense the Outrunners managed to get in this match?
Well, no, because I thought that was the story that was being told, that they were not taking them seriously because they are a comedy act. They're a comedy act that got to the main show. So they're going to brush them off. But instead, they did show a lot of offense. They showed a lot of continuity as a tag team. And then
I agree. I totally expected that. Like, they are trying to prove their value as a real wrestling team. So, like, I definitely, it was spot on to what I expected it to be.
And that's cool. I was really glad to see it. I just I wasn't expecting. I think I was expecting them to have some time in and where they were getting, the upper hand a little bit. I just wasn't expecting them to manhandle Lashley. I could expect them like teaming up and keeping Shelton in their corner or whatever and working on him. But Lashley, man, I just couldn't believe how much offense they got on him. But whatever.
But their gimmick is 80s wrestling, and 80s wrestling has a lot of the underdog getting the advantage on someone who in real life you couldn't touch.
Yeah, that's true.
So it went with the gimmick. And also in person, I just have to mention how over the Hurt Syndicate was in Los Angeles.
Oh my God. What was your comment?
Oh, what was my comment? Oh,
something like, it's
okay.
good to know the Hurt Syndicate are the faces in LA, something like that.
Well, yeah, they're the faces in LA, and probably appreciation for, again, at the other place they were misused, or if not, they couldn't find anything for them to do. I'm like, really? You can't find stuff for those two to do? You're not very good at your job.
That's true.
But Shelton Benjamin is 49 years old. Bobby Lashley is 48. These men have aged like 2 days in the past 2 decades. It's also Los Angeles, so we appreciate people who don't age. who have, circumvented the whole aging process, because both physically and in appearance, you can't tell me it's not 2005 by looking at these guys.
No, dude, they look like they're in their prime.
They are. Get over it.
Yeah, I mean, get over it.
Ageism.
Maybe 49 and 48 is the prime now. Maybe we've been lying our entire lives.
It's a new timeline. There's a time when people would have thought once you're past 20, you can't wrestle anymore. Fucking, you know what I mean? Maybe not that young, but still, it's like things are evolving all the time. So I feel like a lot of people are doing good work later now,
And that's awesome. It's good. It's good to see that. And I think it's because the business has changed a lot too. The body, not a lot is expected out of them, and they're getting more time to rest up their bodies, as opposed to when they're working 7 days a week, like sometimes 3 shows on the same day. Now they're actually getting some time to freaking heal their bodies before they go out and work again. I think that's a big part of it, in my opinion.
Or 2 shots a day, doing 30-minute matches back to back. No, that's over with.
Yeah.
Not rehabbing injuries, just working through the injury. Thank goodness. No one needs that in their life.
Exactly. That's one of the things I like about Tony Khan, is he lets their guy, if their guys get hurt there in AEW, he actually gives them time to freaking heal up. And I love that.
You might give them a little too much time.
Sometimes.
Well, the pendulum swings.
Britt Baker.
Is she injured?
She took 2 years off because of something. I don't remember what it was. But anyway, I will say this match, the odds were not in favor of the Outrunners.
No.
They didn't have a chance in hell winning that championship prize. But you know what prize they should have went after?
Oh, good Lord.
That's right. Prize Picks.
Yay.
Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. Join over 10 million members and sign up today, not tomorrow, not 3 weeks from now, not after you have a St. Patrick's Day bender. No, sign up today. Listen, guys, I'm a hockey guy. I'm going full steam ahead with my Pens, the Pittsburgh Penguins, for all of you that have no freaking clue what I'm talking about. They have a game against the Vegas Golden Knights coming up on Tuesday. I'll be running my game with my boys Sidney Crosby and Chris Letang. Do you want to know a great way to do that? Of course you do. You just need to use our code CCN to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. $50 instantly, and all you have to do is play your first $5 lineup. That's a pretty damn good deal if you ask me. No one did, but I said it anyway. Anywho, Prize Picks, run your game. All righty.
Really random side note, because I know one thing that wait. The Prize Picks does is let you bet, like, why do I say bet all the time? Anyway, bet on really obscure sports. And I just saw Pillow Fight Championships. Did you guys know this exists?
What is it?
Pillow Fighting Championships.
Pillow fight. That sounds like something I would love to watch.
Okay, so I turned to it thinking it's going to be this cheesy, like, pajama party fucking something. No, these dudes are taking it so seriously. They're, like, built as fuck. It's like a boxing match with, like, giant pillows, and they're beating the shit out of each other. I'm like, this is crazy. But, like, I bet you can bet on Prize Picks on Pillow Fighting.
I mean, you could like bet on League of Legends and Call of Duty and Team Fortress 2 or whatever, like all that weird stuff. There's all kinds of things. Darts. It's bizarre with all the things you can do. They didn't have NHL up there until recently, and I saw that. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah. I'm like, hell yeah.
They had darts, but not NHL.
I know. I was like, what that? Maybe it's just because it was, the NHL season's like 9 months long. And,
good point.
Yeah, so like,
anyway,
yes. So let's go back to some carnage, and I mean that in the best way possible. We have the AEW Women's World Champion, Timeless Toni Storm, with Luther. Shit. I know. Luther and Toad taking on the woman from hell, Mariah May. So our pal Brendan Patrizzo was on during our last episode. He gave us the skinny from the screening of Queen of the Ring. Apparently, Toni Storm and Mariah May went at each other on the red carpet, and now we're getting the Hollywood ending match to finally settle this long, long feud. Guys, this match was insanity. Insanity. These ladies rained so much blood that it probably made the guys from Slayer proud, right?
No one gets that reference.
No one listens to fucking Slayer anymore. Oh my God. All right. There were steel chains, champagne bottles, and in the middle they grabbed buckets and channeled the late great Axel Rotten and Ian Rotten and turned this bitch into a Taipei death match. I was on socials at the time. Bully Ray commented from Busted Open, commented on socials and said the same thing. I beat him to it, so I was very proud of myself. If you don't know what a Taipei death match is, it's traditionally when two people, they'll wrap tape around their fists and dip them in glue and then dip them into like nails and glass or whatever sharp things they can think of. Well, these two ladies used broken champagne bottles. I popped.
So good.
Oh, I popped huge for it, man. I was sending pictures to Johnny. I was like, look at this. Because he's like, oh, I can't watch it. I'm like, oh, dude. Dude, this was like ECW Christmas for me. Like, Toni nails Mariah with the shoe, which is the MacGuffin of this entire story. She nails Mariah with the code 0 through a table to get the win, and we have our Hollywood ending. This match, guys, holy shit. I know traditionalists probably hated it, but F them. This was fun as hell. What were you guys thinking watching this live?
Bobbilu.
Okay, so the structure of the match itself with all the hardcore stuff, it all made sense in the context of the storyline that we've had for the past, what is it, over a year now since she was like the All About Eve character.
Yeah, it's been a hot
like
minute.
You said, it wasn't nails, it wasn't just glass. They taped their hands and they dipped their hands into broken champagne bottles.
So fucking brilliant.
And we also went a little bit of a callback because at the beginning of the match, Mariah started doing Toni's moves, but on a hardcore style, because I believe that was a Storm Zero on the steel steps, correct? That's what it looked like?
That's what it was, yeah.
Yes. Well, live, we're just wondering, like, are they going to stop this? Because it looks like they're about to die. But when you're looking at it, like, objectively, like, trying to remember that this is, in fact, entertainment, and hopefully everything that's happening is meant to happen, you're just like, oh, Mariah May just did a hip attack with a chair. So, again, it's a Toni Storm move that they've incorporated, like, hardcore elements to it. So the hardcore stuff did not bother me. Traditionalists might hate it, but it's wrapped into a storyline. It is connected to everything that came previously. There's callbacks. It was just great. I have no complaints about this match other than I was kind of sick watching it, and I believe I smelled iron for a little bit.
Oh, gross.
Bonus.
I'm joking, but
what? No.
Kind of not joking.
I know.
Amazing. It's so cool. Diana, what did you think?
I mean, what the fuck do you think I think? It was fucking amazing. I heard people online say, like quite a few people say this is the best women's feud of all time. And, you know, that's obviously debatable, but it's up there.
Yeah.
Like, they have done this for so long and so well and never really any low points except for when Toni left for a minute. But, like, otherwise, it's been just so fucking entertaining. And the matches they've done have just been never disappointing. Always a payoff. Like, they're just both so great.
And so much thought is put into everything they do. Like the shoe, it just wasn't a shoe. It was the original bloody shoe from the heel turn.
Oh my God.
It's
yes,
just like, oh, okay, yeah.
And it was on a tray. Like, oh, it's just also beautiful. Well done, ladies. Well done.
Yeah.
Props. Bravissimo.
You love me. You really love me.
I love that Toni now calls herself God. That's her new thing. She's now God.
Toni Storm, and I've said this a lot. I think Johnny said it, and Diane, I know you've said it, but she is probably the best women's wrestler in the world right now. Everything she does is fucking fantastic. I've not seen her do something that I've disliked, and that's saying a lot because there's a lot of shit out there that I don't like. But man, yeah, this is great, and also I agree with you, Bobbilu. Like every single little act of violence in this match was a callback to something.
So I appreciate that so much.
Yes,
so good.
And that makes it like where people can't complain because everything had a reason. Everything had a reason to be there. And oh my God, whoever's coming up with this shit for them, if it's them,
RJ City.
Nice.
I mean, honestly,
it's good shit.
I like to think of myself as the RJ City of Pound Town Wrestling, just so you know.
Nice.
I can see that too.
All right.
So,
Humor me.
so now we just need to find out where we go from here. Who challenges Toni Storm next? And my proverbial prize pick is on Megan Bain. I don't know who else.
I don't know. That's just too soon.
I don't know who else would be a threat to her at this point, because I'm
We'll
pretty sure
find
this
out.
Mariah May thing's done.
I'm more concerned with Mariah May because Toni will be Toni, and Toni will make anything work because her character that she came up with, I would be completely lying if I didn't first see it and go like, oh man, it's going to be another cheesy wrestling character that is good for a week, maybe two, but then the joke runs cold. She was that character so seriously, and we as the audience take it seriously because she takes it seriously. She is so invested. But Mariah May, where does she go from here? Because she's great, but her whole character so far in the company has been about Toni. So how to get her away from Toni is my concern.
Maybe she takes a sabbatical as well, and then I don't know. I would love, what would be a really killer match? Mercedes versus Mariah May. I think that would be a good match. I think it'd be fun.
I think it'd be all right, honestly.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, I mean, it's not Serena Deeb.
I think it's a good matchup, but I think it'd still be.
I love
fun.
Deeb.
I do too.
You guys keep forgetting she runs over old people in the airport. She's not nice.
Oh man. All right. So next we have the International House of Pancakes. Oh, it's late. The International Championship match. It's Konosuke Takeshita with Dong Phallus taking on the cleaner Kenny Omega. Guys, I was enthralled all the way through this match. Kenny's in there. He's overselling his gut, but it makes sense. But I didn't know who was going to come out on top here until it was done. And there were some spots here that freaked me the hell out. That table spot scared the shit out of me when I thought that he was going to impale him on the table leg. I was legit cringing at that. And then, but you also have Don Callis throughout this match doing normal Don Callis shit, pulling on Omega's legs, being a royal prick. Omega eventually, he went for his Final Fantasy tributary one-winged angel on a couple occasions, but he couldn't pull it off. This ends with the last failed one-winged angel countered by Takeshita, but then being countered again with a simple crucifix pin by Omega. Omega gets the 3. We have a new international champion. This is what wrestling should be defined as, in my opinion. This was just a solid match between two guys that can work their asses off. What are your guys' thoughts? Do you think Kenny winning the title was a good thing?
Well, where else would we go with this, though? Because he spent the entire match, his lower body was targeted. They're clearly bringing up the fact that he had I can never pronounce it correctly.
Diverticulitis.
Good job.
Yeah.
Diverticulitis, which, 2 feet of his intestines were taken out. They're targeting the lower body, the lower back, the stomach, the impalement, like you said, that was about to happen. Or he actually went onto the guardrail, correct? And hit that on his stomach?
Yeah, he did do that.
Yeah. So if he did not come across as the winner of this match, it would be such a letdown, or it would be that tragic ending where he did everything he could, but his body failed him in the end. So those are the only 2 ways it could go. And I'm glad that he got the title, because then we get to celebrate that he overcomes everything, both in real life and professionally, because it was legitimate in question whether or not he would return, correct?
Yes.
So, no complaints. And the psychology, because of course, if you're a Don Callis guy, you're going to target the stomach area. Why wouldn't you? You wouldn't go like,
yes.
He's a year or 2 out of recovery. We'll be easy on him. Like, that doesn't really happen in professional wrestling. It would happen in real life, but not in professional wrestling.
Yeah, that's, guys, it's I don't know, man. This was a definitive wrestling match for me, and that's hard to come by these days, to just have a match that you're like, this is wrestling.
And now I would like to retract my
statement. With that. I feel like there's a lot that you say this is wrestling.
Well, there's a lot of matches that are really, really good, and there's a lot of high spots and a lot of really fun shit. Most of those matches are Ospreay, but this match, this match had it was like,
we just said MJF and Hangman had a match like that, right?
It was a good match. I don't think it was good as this match.
Well, yeah, but saying this is wrestling, like, that counts.
But here's the difference, and I know that Hangman and MJF had this too, but not like this. And it's like Bobbilu was saying, the ring psychology of this match was what defines it as a wrestling match. Not necessarily like how good the match is as far as moves go and what they do, but just the ring psychology, the facial,
like the full package.
Yeah, like the facial expressions from both guys, stuff like that. That's
It
what
brought
made
out
it.
the emotions.
Yeah.
Don't need a flashy move set if you can bring out the emotions by telling a story and have everything make sense. The psychology of the match, I understand what's going on here. He is not at 100%. He may never be at 100%. And the other guy is totally
taking advantage of that shit.
Yeah, which I don't want to say his name because I feel like I'm going to say how you guys say it, which I won't do.
Yes.
I feel like you've probably heard that many, many times.
I can't.
Oh, sure. Oh, boy. Okay, guys. It's Steel Cage grudge match time. It's the aerial assassin Will Ospreay taking on his arch nemesis and former best friend, the proto star Kyle Fletcher. Jesus Christ on a croissant sandwich. This is
right.
Yeah.
I was trying to let you get it out, but fuck, I was not excited about this because it's like, steel cage match, like good in theory, not fun to watch in person, but fucking hell,
dude,
fuck me.
Dude,
it was so good.
This match wasn't a wrestling match; it was a goddamn snuff film.
It was.
That's the best way to put it. Oh my god,
so good. Oh my god.
And Kyle Fletcher, I don't think gets enough credit for
everything.
Everything. Like, he kept on going back to the weird oral fixation of just licking stuff.
I know.
And then it progressively got grosser and grosser. He starts by licking the cage, and then he licks the screwdriver. Yes. Yes. He's going to end up with some type of oral infection at some point.
Yes. Exactly.
There's no way you can lick all those things and not one of them has something on it.
Dude,
that's just how crazy he is.
If you would have cut his tongue on that cage, he could have got like freaking tetanus or some shit.
They both need tetanus shots after that match.
Oh, for fuck's sake, dude. Oh my god. Okay. So I'm standing, okay, in my office. Not like a wrestling event where you show up and you stand when you look. I was standing in my office watching this by myself. That's how fucking into this amazing fucking match. Oh my god, it's really hard to explain the feelings I was getting from this, and it was so legit. Like, I was just looking away, like, oh my god, I can't see what they're gonna do here. I every time I was like, there, one of these guys is gonna fucking hurt, but I couldn't look away. It was so good, but there was so much blood
and so much going on. We have an Oz cutter off the cage.
Yes.
Like, awesome. Okay, is it not called a Spanish fly anymore? Because I called it a Spanish fly and I got a dirty look from like the guy beside me. He did a Spanish fly off the top of the cage into the Tiger Driver, correct? Tiger Driver 91, or is that what his finisher is called?
Well, that's the one he uses as a last resort. Yeah.
Oh, okay, because it injures too many people.
Yeah, it's just
and
too
after. And after the guy survived being hit in the head with a screwdriver and getting the Faith Breaker, I'm sorry, what's it actually called? The Styles Clash onto the thumbtacks. What other option do you have other than the Tiger Driver 91?
Exactly. And it was I love how Ospreay doesn't use that move unless he really, like, it's a dire situation.
Like, he feels really bad about using it.
I know. Remember when we had that storyline? It was adorable.
Yeah, the match was more about that move than it was anything else, and I actually loved that. But these guys were doing Moxley's bleeding shtick better than Moxley did.
I feel like Moxley's been letting that go, kind of.
A little bit, yeah. But like, it was really cool too, because with the cage dynamic with Ospreay, he does all those back handsprings, and but he couldn't do it this time because he hit the cage and hurt his leg. Like, I was like, oh, that's fucking genius to think about that, because I've never seen anyone do that before. And dude, but anyway, yeah, the bleeding. Toni Storm's gash was bad, but it just paled in comparison to this.
Didn't talk about Toni Storm's gash, my friend.
Not that kind of show. Or is it? I don't know.
It is, actually.
Oh,
yeah.
You can't speak ill of Toni Storm's gash.
Ospreay did not have facial features by the end of the match. It was just like
Oh my God,
eyeballs and
true.
teeth, like covered with bloody mask.
Dude, it looked like the dude in Hellraiser.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it looked like.
Was it Frank? You know, when he didn't have any
Yes,
skin on his
hot,
face.
sexy Frank.
Oh god, yeah.
That's what it reminded me of. It was just like when they say it's a crimson mask. That's literally what the hell we got here. So freaking cool. But man, this match, like these two just delivered move after move, signature after signature, finisher after finisher, constant kickouts. Came to the point where I was like, okay, guys, you've done enough. Let's wrap this up. But then it just kept going.
Fight forever.
Oh man, if any match deserved that chant, it was this one.
Yes.
Oh, but
Fight forever. We were like hugging each other by the time the match ended because we were just like, oh god, something's gonna happen. It's gonna be terrible, and we can't go back. We can't go back. You
No, speak for yourself. I'm here for all of it.
Oh man, I was just like worried about him. Yeah, I was just worried about him by the end. I was like, man, these guys can't keep going. Like, especially with all the bloodlust, they can't keep going. But fuck if I was wrong. But no, so they get out the thumbtacks, and like you said, he does the freaking Styles Clash on the thumbtacks. It's just, and then the Spanish Fly from the top of the cage, and then a hidden blade, and then finally the Tiger Driver 91, and that's finally what does it. It's over 1, 2, 3. Ospreay finally defeats Fletcher definitively. And I think we've talked about this already, but it's in my notes, so I'm going to ask it again. What's going through your heads with this match? Because I couldn't look away, and I really wanted to.
Same, because it was so good. And this is the weirdest thing to say about a match that bloody. It did not feel gratuitous.
No, it didn't really. You're right. That's a really good way to put it.
Well, I, for one, did not want to look away, and I never did. But I have to mention when they were on top, of the cage, the dude behind us was so, like, he went into like wrestling historian mode. He was like, you guys, history is happening right now. This has never happened before. It's never gonna happen again because it's too damn dangerous. Appreciate this moment, like going on and on like that. Like, it was the most serious thing ever. And when it finally happened, he's like, I can't believe this happened. I cannot believe this happened. You are never ever going to see that again. Like, to everyone, just generally speaking. I'm like, okay, cool.
I don't think he's wrong.
Yeah, I see. He very might well be.
He was so fucking serious about it, though. It was awesome. It was great commentary.
That sounds so fun, dude. That crowd sounds so fun.
It was. Go LA.
Yeah.
Which LA is not usually fun. Good for us. You brought them out, AEW.
So many LA shows where I'm just like, you guys suck. I'm going back to Phoenix.
Everyone from my hometown thinks LA is so glamorous and fun. I'm like, it's a bunch of standing around pretending to be something you're not and not having a good time in the meantime.
Word.
AEW does not deal with that.
You must have fun at AEW. You have no choice.
All right. I'll mention this because Diana knows this. I don't like blood. I just don't like blood. But the two matches that had it, the happy ending. Wait, that's not it. The Hollywood ending.
Tony would appreciate you calling it that.
Amazing.
And this match, it did not feel like I was watching something just to have color in the match or just to shock. It all made sense because these were two like death feuds where if something terrible were to happen, the other guy would probably be okay with it. So I didn't feel like I was watching anything gratuitous or unnecessary. So hats off, because I'm not a blood person. I would rather not.
Well, I am a blood person, and I don't care if it's gratuitous, but so I liked it no matter what.
Yeah, it was, and it was great. It was great, and like I'm happy that just like that guy in the crowd, you're never going to see this again. I'm so happy that I didn't.
So serious.
I'm happy that I didn't miss this.
Because that guy was a prophet. He spoke only the truth.
Yeah.
He came down from the heavens and mentioned, like, we will never see this again.
Honestly, it felt like that. I didn't hear him say anything else the whole rest of the time. And then he was just standing there so serious. Like, the look on his face was just, yes, I believe it.
I didn't even know he was there until we started talking.
Right? Exactly. I'm like, where's this guy coming from? Just
have you been
all to appreciate the moment.
He's like wrestling Jesus. He's like,
yes.
Okay. All right, guys. So we had this amazing match, and it's time for me to become a Debbie Downer. And it's only because that's what this main event match has made me become.
But wait, do we have to talk about Mando first?
Oh, we'll get there.
Okay.
All right.
Making sure.
Yeah, we'll get there. It's the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, okay? The current champion, Jon Moxley, versus the rated R Coper Star Cope. This was okay at first. It was nice to see a match where the Death Riders weren't like all over the place.
Where was Marina?
She got smacked in the head by Willow weeks ago.
Out. Got it.
Yeah. But both guys were getting in a lot of offense. Moxley even looked evened out for a bit, which is unnatural for him anymore. But it didn't last. The fuckery began. Wheeler Yuta comes down, nails Cope with the Busaiku knee, hands Mox the briefcase. Jay White comes down to help, but inadvertently nails Cope with the briefcase. I thought it was done here, and I was about to get super pissed again, but Cope got up and nailed Mox with the 3 consecutive spears. And I'm like, all right, finally, this is over. We can finally get over this shit. But no, Cope goes for the pin, and then a dude in a black jacket and a hood comes down and breaks it up. It's Christian Cage, and he cashes in his contract while the match is still going on for reasons. And now it's a triple threat for reasons. Christian nails Cope with the kill switch. Mox out of nowhere comes in, locks on that stupid bulldog choke. Christian is out. Mox wins again. Guys, every time, man. Every time I think that this Death Rider bullshit can't get any dumber, they manage to surprise me.
Dumber than the name Cope?
Well, yes.
No one said that.
Yeah.
That's pretty dumb.
I'm sorry, just on an aside, I hate the name Cope because we have Jon Moxley and people call him Mox as a nickname. Why can't he be Adam Copeland? And Cope is just a nickname that we call him on commentary or the other wrestlers call him casually. It looks stupid on the lower third cryon.
It sure does.
It's just ridiculous. Yeah, but not as ridiculous as Christian Cage finally cashing in on that contract that he's had since All In and not winning the title.
Well, not only that, but cashing it in during the match. Wait till someone's fucked up and cash in at the end of the match. Like, why would you even do that? That's historically when people have tried to do that, it's never ended well. Why would you try that again?
Well, there's precedence on the other company. One WrestleMania, somebody turned the one-on-one to a triple threat. But I don't know. I feel like it was such a letdown with that storyline with Christian having that contract for so long. And then I would have been totally fine with Christian getting the title.
Oh, me too.
I want the title off the Death Riders. I don't even know Jon Moxley.
Anyone else?
Like, well,
you could have brought Ralphus in there from the Jericho Society or whatever.
R.I.P.
And R.I.P. Am I not aware of this? What happened?
Ralphus? Yeah, he's been dead for a while.
Oh, yeah. Okay. From Ralphus, WCW Ralphus. I thought somebody
from
the Jericho Appreciation Society that I messed up a name.
Oh, no.
No, Jericho Security.
I remember.
Yeah, guys, like this was stupid. The crowd seemed pissed. If they were even like a fraction as pissed as I was, man, I'm surprised they didn't have to get riot squads in there because this was stupid. It was a dog shit inning that put a damper on what was an absolute excellent A+ pay-per-view. I'm just going to stop watching any match Moxley's in. It's a waste of my time and patience. It really is. I mean, it's got to be something special. What are your guys' thoughts aside from that? I know we talked a little bit about it, but Diana, what's your take on this? Because fucking stupid.
All right, I'm going to be 2,000% real. I had to get a flight, so I had to leave early, and I was really pissed. I wanted to see what we thought was going to happen, which was Cope beat Mox, then Christian come out. I was absolutely sure that's what was going to happen, and I was leaving so reluctantly. And then by the time it got to my Uber and shit, like, I'm getting texts and shit that it's over and that this is what had happened. I'm like, what? I'm so glad I left.
Yeah, I text you. I'm like, God damn it.
We had this conversation. It's like, because you kept going back and forth. I can't remember how you made me like it. Oh, did you say an audience member beat up Mox?
No.
Or something like that? Like he attacked Mox? No?
I didn't say that.
Somebody said something.
That would have been hilarious.
Did that not happen?
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
I didn't
lied to me. But anyway, because I heard so much hatred about how it went down, how that sounds very anticlimactic, I didn't go back and watch that part. So
Well, you weren't missing
I'm
anything.
happy about it because I'm glad I didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
Best scheduled, whatever it is, best plane trip ever.
Yes, I know that worked out really well. I got out before the
Best-
whole crazy crowd.
You're like, I'm gonna
Best
get on this plane and watch fucking Snow Dogs instead of this match.
No.
Well, that match was just really slow. So I had trouble paying attention to the match because first it came after the cage match, which was just such an endorphin high. And again, as someone who does not like blood and got so invested in that match, and then we get this match, it starts off really slow with the, just the standard punches, lockup. I can't even really tell you what happened during the match, even though I watched it live because I kept
so crazy.
I kept on zoning out until Wheeler Yuta showed up and then Jay White showed up. And then it started to get more interesting to me. They're live because oh, cool, something's finally happening. And then Christian comes up. And then I'm finally like, okay, great. We're finally going to get this belt off Jon Moxley. And maybe it gets back to Jon Moxley. But for the time being, it's been too long.
Way too long.
And Christian, it would make sense because he's had that contract. So why would the payoff be so anticlimactic? To first turn it, you're right, turn it into a triple threat match. Not okay. Have Cope just sitting there. Screw it. Have Adam Copeland on the floor, just like.
Please, we still call him Edge. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Just have him in pain, writhing after a hard fought match. He finally got the championship, and then have Christian come out. And then have Christian win.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
I did not want to miss that. So thank you, AEW, for dropping
So
the
now
ball.
I don't know why they keep doing this to us. There's got to be something big planned. And maybe this is it because there was a little bit of a silver lining at the end of this. Prince Nana comes out and yells at Mox to distract him from a diving Swerve Strickland from like the top of the crowd onto the ramp.
Oh, that I haven't heard about. That's amazing.
Yeah, and apparently he's not going to waste any time going after that championship. I don't think Swerve's going to win, and I already know that, which really takes me out of what could otherwise be an interesting upcoming match.
Agreed.
I've been patient with this crap, man. My patience running. It's not even just running thin; it's gone. But this was it was a B+ pay-per-view, and it would have been an A+ if it hadn't been for that main event. I want to be hopeful for this Swerve Mox feud, but I have a very good feeling that it'll stink like dumpster garbage. And speaking of stinking,
wow. Okay, I couldn't have doubted you.
I am impressed with that transition.
That was good.
Oh, you're welcome. Let's talk about non-stinking with Mando. I think maybe if Swerve uses enough Mando deodorant, he could repel some of the Death Rider stink that's about to come full force at him.
Okay, now you're trying too hard.
Whatever. I'm just writing.
If anything can get rid of the stink, it's Mando.
Mando's good stuff, right, guys? I've been using it for a little while now. It's replaced most of my usual stuff. I dig the bourbon leather and the Mount Fuji scents. I think I like Mount Fuji a little bit more, but they're both pretty nice. Mando is a whole body deodorant, safe to use anywhere on your body, pits, balls, cracks, crevices, wherever. And it's clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. That's 3 days, right? That's nuts. And you can use it on your nuts.
Which is not the conversation you want to have because someone can smell.
Right?
That's clearly nuts.
Oh my God. All right, Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with the solid stick deodorant, green tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like a mini body wash and deodorant wipes, which I dig, and free shipping. As a special offer for our listeners, new customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That's AEW, by the way. It equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Just use code AEW at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com. Please support our show. Tell them that we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando. All right, guys. We need to rate this mother trucker. What should we rate this on?
Enthusiastic Leslie Jones. Leslie Joneses.
The guest is always right. We're doing that.
Yeah, let's do that. I was going to say false finishes, but yeah, Leslie Jones is funnier.
I was going to say Bloody Shoes, but
Ooh,
we'll go Leslie
They're
Jones.
all good.
They're all amazing. We're all amazing.
We're going with unhinged Leslie Jones.
Unhinged is the fucking word. And the best way. As she was leaving, I was like, you were so much fun.
All right. Well, we're gonna let Bobbilu go first since he's our guest. What do you rate this
On a
in
scale of 1
unhinged
to 5?
Yes, on Leslie Jones'
Um,
unhingedness.
4.5. 4.5.
Oh,
Yeah, the main event didn't spoil the whole thing for me because a little behind the curtain, I was watching the main event and I was thinking, is it the same producers of the matches that are doing the main event? Because the main event did not make a whole lot of sense, whereas the cage match did, the Toni Storm match did, the MJF match made a lot of sense. So they had all this continuity on the show with previous episodes of AEW, and then we get to the main event and we're just like, all right, so this is the point of the show where nothing makes sense and everything sucks. Okay, good to know.
So here's a problem that people have with AEW, and I don't think I'm giving too much away. I think this is widely known. Tony gives people, especially certain people, too much say in how things go, and that's why things don't always, they're not as cohesive as we would like, because like in a match where you have a Mox and a Christian and a fucking Cope, there's a lot of egos and opinions of what should happen at play, and it's really hard to find ways to appease all of them and also the audience. So
that makes perfect sense.
yes.
Yeah, perfect sense.
Well, all three of those men have they've had their place in history, wrestling history, to have their say in whatever they want. But
And they still want their say. At least a couple of them do. I'll say that. How's that?
there needs to be an outside voice to be like, hey guys, we were doing this and now this now doesn't make sense and the audience is not stupid.
Yeah, but sometimes people's egos get the best of them.
My heart's broken now.
I know,
More
I'm sorry. They'll figure
Yeah.
it out. Eventually, they'll find a way to make it all work. They just didn't yet.
They figured it out for 8 out of 9 matches.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's.
So we're rating. So unhinged Leslie Jones for me. I'm going 4 3/4 because I didn't see the end match. So I am not. It didn't taint anything for me.
Because
A smelly good taint by Mando. The only reason I'm not doing that is because I feel like the Jericho segment should have been on the regular show so that I didn't miss it.
And you could have easily put it on the regular show in between matches since it wasn't an actual match and it would give that ROH exposure. But that's just the way my brain is working. Like booking.
Trust,
You could have put
I agree. That's what should have happened, and I wouldn't have missed it if they did that. So
Yeah.
5 minutes of the Mercedes match and put the Jericho segment on the main show.
Yes. Switch that shit.
Oh
They
yeah.
put me in charge.
Nice.
I am the
All
final
right.
gentleman of wrestling.
Since I was a little jaded, but I'm trying to be fair, because this event was so goddamn good, I'm going with the same as you, Bobbilu. I'm going with a 4.5 unhinged Leslie Joneses because
I love that that's what we're rating, by the way.
I know. It's so
we
funny.
should send it to her.
We should.
Just this
I don't know
part.
if she would appreciate that because I don't feel she thought she was being unhinged.
Aw.
I don't think she was being
I
unhinged.
mean, that's a fair point, but she might have known. It's unhinged appreciation, but okay, we won't send it to her. But anyway, sorry. Continue with that.
I use the word enthusiastic to be fair.
Okay, sorry. We just tried to make it funny.
Well, we just gotta add in there that she was the bomb in the Ghostbusters movie, and it should be all right.
She was the bomb at the show. Like unhinged in the best fucking way. Go for it. Enjoy yourself. No.
Yeah, unhinged is a positive thing in this case.
Seriously, I'm gonna watch every Leslie Jones Saturday Night Live episode, movie, whatever. I'm now the biggest Leslie Jones mark.
Aww.
I will follow her. I will dress
so
up
great.
as her for Halloween one year. Maybe not.
I know. Maybe not. Okay.
All right,
what
Diana.
What did the ghost give it? Did you hear?
Oh, the ghost. Hold on, I gotta use my Ouija
Text the
board.
ghost really fast.
My Ouija board I've got sitting on my desk right here. Okay, so he says he's given it a 5.
Ooh.
Because
ghost. Explain.
Well, the ghost
had a
the ghost.
flight.
Yeah, well, the ghost was like, well, I decided to leave early.
He left right after Ospreay.
It was enough. Ospreay and the blood reminded him of how he went in life. So he's like, okay, so I'm good with it. So yeah, he gave it a 5.
Cool.
Gave it a 5.
The secret of it is just leave early, and then you'll always be happy.
But
You
what if it was
either
good
leave
like
early.
it was supposed to be?
What?
What if it was good like it was supposed to be and how it could
I
have?
know it's true. I'm just trying to make myself feel better, to be honest.
Just rolling the dice on that one.
You have no idea. It was so hard for me to drag myself away. I'm like, I'm gonna miss this amazing shit, and then I didn't. Yay!
But there, you had that whole conversation with me that you didn't want to go.
I
But
know. I was like, tell me I have to go because I did have to go.
I had to reassure you, like, if you miss your flight, you're gonna
I
be like
know.
living in the airport for a day, and that's not gonna be fun.
It worked out so well. Thank you for pushing me out the door.
Whenever
you guys want to do awards?
Yes, it's awards time. So yeah,
All
let's do it.
right. So let's start with our John Holmes biggest dick of the week.
Bobbilu, you go first since you're the guest.
the guy behind us who kept on bumping into Diana's head as
yes!
he kept on going
fuck
back
him.
and forth.
Sorry, go ahead. he literally, you said he was like Britney Spears' ex-husband or something?
Ooh, let's not throw that out there.
Oh, sorry.
He
Fuck
may.
him.
He's
He hit my head
allegedly.
so much and did not fucking apologize.
And he
Fuck
kept
him.
on leaving.
Yes, he did not pay attention. I could hear some of their conversation. They were just like there to be there. They were seeing people. But luckily they were behind us, so fuck off. I hope we blocked their view.
Yeah,
So
bastards.
yes, good
But
call.
He's a very small person. Well, like, he's buff and stuff, but he's a very smaller man. So I was surprised, like, you can't squeeze in there without hitting my friend in the back of the head with your...
And just say sorry. He did it every single time.
Dude, that's why you guys need to bring me to this shit. Like, I'm ex-military. I'm a big dude. No one fucks with me.
I mean, I'm gonna let it go because I'm the bigger person, but it's just fucking rude. Like,
I
get
will
over
say,
yourself.
allegedly, my friends are very big fans of the show he's on somewhere. I have no idea.
I mean, I feel like it's okay to say like just facts that happen.
Oops, I tripped and my head hit you on the bridge of your nose. My bad.
Okay, well, that is an excellent Dick of the Week choice. But as Gringo mentioned before, I'm going to give it to my fucking Uber driver who.
No one on the
was
show
not
today.
His strongest suit. And he took me too far and would not understand to turn back around and just kept. The only phrase he kept saying was, navigation says here. And I'm like, but it's right. Just, can you turn? Navigation says here. And like opening the door and shit. I'm like, fuck. Fine, I'm in heels. I'm late. I'm gonna try to fucking make this fucking thing, and I was so close. And if he just turned around and dropped me off at the front like he was supposed to, I would have made it. So Uber driver, Dick of the Week.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
getting not a huge tip.
Yeah,
a fair tip, but not a huge tip.
You know they rate us too, so you might want to give him a very fair tip.
I've already been rated. I'm fine. Also, I've also learned it doesn't fucking matter because my Uber rating is like off the charts, and I have friends who like have really bad Uber ratings, and they'll get one before me with a cheaper price. I'm like, it's just random. Don't buy the hype.
Well, here's your tip: third horse on the fifth race. Fuck off. There you go. There's your tip. That's what my dad always says.
That was very dad.
By.
Okay, so I'm giving my Dick of the Week, much to probably Diana's chagrin, Chris Jericho. You don't pull off a luchador's mask, dude, okay? I'm going to come out of retirement. I'm going to get permission from my wife, and I'm going to come out of retirement if you take any more luchador's masks. So he's my Dick of the Week, Jericho.
I mean, you think Jericho won't appreciate that? Like,
oh, I'm sure he will.
A dick. He wants to be the best dick, if you will.
Good. I hope he hears this, you bastard.
I want to piggyback off of that and give a second place appendage award to Aubrey Edwards for opening up the ring to let a teenager and an elderly lady into the ring as Chris Jericho was swinging a bat around. Like, why was that a good idea?
But is it more Aubrey or is it Chris swinging the bat in the first place? It's a bigger dick. I guess you know what? They can both be dicks. Fuck it.
Yeah, they
go
sure
with that.
can.
Because Aubrey has some judgment issues right there. I'm like, Aubrey, because I don't know what it looked like on TV, but live, I'm like, why would you do that? You should be trying to get them away from the ring as they're screaming and going, my baby, and I'm like, oh, let's go into the ring so you can be a human shield for your trained wrestler son.
Oh God,
It just makes sense.
That's very fair.
Okay. On a happier note, who is our Dewey Riley hero of the week?
That's you, Bobbilu.
Toni Storm.
Oh, nice. Cool.
She finished the happy end. I'm going to keep on doing that.
Dude,
the
let's go
Hollywood
happy
ending.
ending.
She wrapped up the trilogy.
Man, I need to go to a massage parlor.
Why? What happens there?
Happy ending.
No idea what you're talking about.
Really? I don't even want to explain it.
You don't
I'll
have
explain
to.
it. What do you need to know? Okay. Do you know how it works for girls to get a happy ending?
No.
No clue.
Really? Do you really not?
Are you surprised I have no clue how a happy ending works for a woman?
I know how it works for dudes. Why can't? Well, I guess it's not the same, but whatever.
This-
Usually like a magic wand. They'll whip that shit out.
Well then.
Just so
Holy
you know.
shit.
I'm here for it.
Damn.
Girls need to get theirs too. Anyway, Gringo, who's your hero?
I'm going with Kenny Omega for coming back from injury,
Aw.
winning one of the biggest matches of his career, in my opinion.
You
He
know
was my
what?
hero.
I was gonna go. I was going back and forth between a few people, but how do you not pick Kenny Omega after his comeback like that? That's a very good point.
Yeah, it's definitely like my hero for sure.
That should have been
Okay.
the event. There's no rule that says the world title has to end the show. If that ended the show and the Mox Adam Copeland match was somewhere in the middle, it would have been a much better
That's true.
flow
Yep.
of the show.
Yeah,
But then I would have been sad that I missed it. So yay.
yeah, I wouldn't have been as pissed, I think.
It's true. I mean, you're waiting, and it was a huge deal. And we're yes. Let's not go back to that trauma.
Yeah, really. God.
Okay, Freddy versus Jason match or showdown of the week.
Mm.
Yeah, this is a tough
Ospreay
one.
Fletcher.
I'm going Ospreay Fletcher. That's one I can't stop thinking about.
Same. Straight down the line.
Yes.
Yep.
That's the only one I posted on Twitter. Like usually I go along, but I was just kind of like paying. There was a lot going on, but on Twitter I was like, "You guys should be watching this." Like way late, but it was so amazing.
Yeah, I've never seen anything quite like
So
that
good.
before in my life.
You'll never see this moment again. You are witnessing history.
Thank you, wrestling Jesus.
Jesus.
Oh God. Yeah. All right, guys. That we did it, man. I'm 90% Red Bull now, but we did it. Bobbilu, thank you for joining us tonight. It was a pleasure to meet you.
You are so good. Thank you. Do you have anything coming up you want to promote?
WrestleMania week, I might be doing something in Las Vegas, but nothing has been signed. So if you see me around Las Vegas during that other show's big week, that other company's big week,
I'm going to try to go for that too.
Awesome.
Let's hang together if we go.
and you might see me interviewing, or I might actually manage a talent to the ring. So,
Ooh.
Damn.
yeah.
Well, we will look forward to that.
So everything's kind of up in there. But WrestleMania week, Las Vegas, Bobbilu will be there. You can follow me at Bobbilu Lapasca on all social media wait, I messed that up. Social media platforms. That's the word. It's kind of late here too.
I feel like we figured it out. But thanks for clarifying.
Diana, what do you have going on?
I don't know, a bunch of live shows. You can fucking follow my social and figure out.
You're like,
you know what I'm supposed to be promoting right now is I'm doing this thing. I think April 4th-ish, for full moon, and it's Church of Chills. It's me, Joe Bob, and Barbara Crampton, and we're showing the original Puppet Master, and it's all sold out in person, but they're doing some kind of live stream thing so you can watch that way if you didn't get tickets. So I don't really remember what it's called. Moments. They're using Moments. So like if you care about that and you want to watch this host Puppet Master live, then look on Full Moon Social, my social, Joe Bob social, and get a link.
Awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
We'll see.
Puppets freak me out, but I will watch puppets for you, Diana.
Aw, thank you.
Let's see. I've got coming up April 1st is my episode of Fantastico Disasterpiece Theatre, the Saturday morning cartoon especial, with my special guest, Diana Prince.
Yay! She is so cool.
Yeah,
And
she's
beautiful.
You
she's-
guys.
She's lovely. But yeah, I have that going on, and my most recent episode of my show on Troma Now with Kevin Van Hentenryck, and I host Basket Case 2, so that's a lot of fun. So you can watch that one also. And I will be at Horror Hound Weekend, signing autographs, doing all kinds of fun stuff at the Troma table. So you can see me there. I believe it's the 22nd or 21st through the 23rd. I think I'll be there on the 21st, maybe the 22nd. So if you're at the Troma table, stop by. You can see me there. And yeah, that's all I've got. So let's do our thing and say the thing that we say. Everybody, namaste, EW.
Say it again, Bobby. You cut out.
Oops. Namaste, AEW.
There you go. Namaste, EW.